Hi there, I'm Christopher Dunn again. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Hubbardton Forge Atlas Pendant. I love this pendant. It's got some great architectural lines to it. 187460. Let's get into detail on it. So the height of the fixture body itself, which is going to encompass the bottom of the glass to the top, kind of the top of where that arc is, where the little dial is to make it go up and down, is 27.2. And then it's going to be 13.9 inches wide. That's going to be a metal-to-metal measurement where the glass is kind of hiding or being held, and then 13.4 inches the other way. And that's going to, again, be a metal-to-metal measurement. When you add the telescoping rod idea on, you're going to have three different adjustable ranges. And how we're going to look at those is up on the upper right-hand corner of the screen, you're going to see a pull-down menu. It's going to say, choose your adjustable range. So if you're familiar with Hubbardton Forge, they have a patent on the whole telescoping rod idea for the lighting industry. And on this fixture, you're going to be able to just kind of untighten a little dial and raise and lower the socket cluster into the glass itself. You can bring it up so it's easy to get the glass out or clean it. It takes 2 seconds. You're also going to notice a couple other things. Well, I want to show you more information in depth. And how we're going to do that is we're going to look at the install sheets. These are the papers that are going to be in the box when you get this, and how you're going to do that. You're going to look over on the right-hand side of the screen, midway down, if you're on the page for this fixture on our site, Handmade in Vermont, you're going to see a link. It's going to say, click here for installations instructions PDF. So click on that for me. So you're going to see a full parts list on there. You're going to see how the glass goes on. You're going to see the telescoping rod idea, how that all works. You're also going to see that this is going to be using a 5.25 inch diameter canopy. That's going to go over your 4-inch junction box without a problem. And what else about that? Well, let's go back to those adjustable ranges. So you're going to have three different ones to begin with. So you're going to have 30 to 41, and that's going to be measured from the bottom of the fixture to the ceiling, or you can say ceiling to bottom of the fixture, telescoping, don't forget. You're going to have 40.9 to 52.2. That's going to be the middle one called standard, and the long one after that is going to be 51.4 to 62.7. So normally I kind of talk about custom stuff right around now. But, you know, the fixture body itself is 27.2 on this, and my short is 30, so I don't think I'm going to be able to get any shorter than 30 inches from the ceiling down. However, I can get longer. So if you're in a situation where, let's say you have a really 120-inch ceiling, like a 10-foot ceiling, or a cathedral ceiling, and you need this to be longer than 62.7, drop me a quick email and just tell me what you're up to, and I can send it over to the customs department and come back with a quote for you. If you're working with a slope ceiling, we have you covered there too. On the top of this, there's a knuckle right here. It's going to allow this to bend to be 45 degrees, slope ceiling adaptable. So here's your slope, and there's your canopy over that. All really good, absolutely no problems. Okay, so let's dive into what else I want to talk about. So actually, you know what, before we get into sockets, let's talk about glass, because that's kind of determine kind of like what kind of bulb you're going to use, and I'll get into that too. You're going to notice there's three different types of glass on the pull-down menu. So you're going to have a piece, you're going to have clear glass, and obviously this is the shape of the glass, but these are the types. Clear is clear, so it is exactly what you think it is. So you're going to be able to see a socket, which will be covered up with a, it's called a retaining cup, which I have a smaller version here, and it just basically hides the socket and makes it pretty. Then you're going to have Opal Glass, which is Hubbardton Forge's classic white glass. It's opaque. You're not going to be able to see into it. I'll talk about more what Opal Glass is all about later in the video. And least but not less, or less but not least, whatever, Opaline glass, which I am totally smitten with. So it's a beautiful hand-blown glass. All of Hubbardton Forge's glass is hand-blown. Opaline is a milky, milky white glass. So it's got almost like the hue of of gin, believe it or not. It's got that kind of, it's not blue, but it's catching different colors from light itself and kind of like refracting light inside the glass. So it's really pretty. You can kind of see me through there. So it's the thing about it, it's again hand blown. There's little air bubbles randomly through it. Very few of them, but they're there. It really shows you that the hand blown artistry. And then the milkiness is random, so some parts of it are going to be kind of on the clear side, some parts are going to be more milky. You can see it on this piece that's on top, but I have other fixtures that have this glass. The sprig, I have it, and I've noticed that it's kind of all over the board as far as the randomness of it, which I really like. I think that's like a really cool effect. Shows you how these things are handcrafted. But remember, you're going to be able to see a bulb in this. It's going to be semi-transparent, so If you can see, I have a decorative light bulb in there, and that's an Edison bulb, which is what I like. I probably would not go for a traditional LED because it's not very pretty to look at. So just kind of keep that in mind, and we'll talk about those bulbs next. Anyway, so these are going to be the 3 different types of glass you can get this on. A little bit of an upcharge for Opaline because it's a really tough glass to make, and there you go. Okay, so let's talk about what's inside and what you can put inside. So it's going to be using a medium base porcelain socket screw-in bulb. If you want to go for a incandescent bulb, you're going to be locking in at, I believe it's either 60 watts or 100 watts. It'll tell us on the page here, right over there. Anyway, beyond that, you can put in whatever you want when it gets into LEDs. And there's all kinds of LEDs out in the marketplace, don't forget. The only limit to the LED is, can I get it into the glass? And this piece of glass is huge, so you can get in anything your little heart desires, which means you can get a ton of light out of this. This can light the world if you really wanted it to. So here's a couple different LEDs that, like, we use this one in our showroom, okay? However, if you don't want to go for the big Edison ones, which are more expensive and decorative, you can go for kind of a faux Edison, and that's going to be a traditional one like this that has the phosphorus filaments inside, which would look equally cool. If you're doing the Opal Glass, this guy, where you're not going to be able to see into it, then you can kind of go for these not so pretty bulbs, but throw a ton of light. This is a A19 size, which is the same size as a standard light bulb we grew up with, okay? And then this bigger guy is called a A21. This is a larger size bulb. You can find this up to 150 watt equivalent. I can find this up to 100 watt equivalent if I really try. Some of the other thing is you want to be able to dim this, especially if you're going to be using a bulb like this, because I don't want to be able to see this filament. And I want this to be super bright when I need it to be bright. If I'm using this over a kitchen island, I want a lot of light down. So if you actually have it on a dimmer, you could put in a pretty bright LED, any one that you want, don't forget, because it's a big piece of glass. And then the other thing is, if you're using the Opal Glass, you could just go for one of these guys and get it up to a 150 watt equivalent or even a 100 watt equivalent, and I think you'd be good to go. Like I said, it's a dimmable fixture. Make sure you buy the LED that's dimmable. And remember, I talk about all the time about the colors of light coming out of LEDs. I tend to like the warm white of an incandescent bulb from our past when we were kids. Remember these guys? That's going to be 3,000 Kelvin. Some of you guys are going to like the cooler daylight, which is a misnomer. People think daylight's a warm light. It's not. It's a white light, like a doctor's office or a hospital. Some people absolutely love that. That's going to be 4,000, 5,000 Kelvin. So when you guys are at a hardware store, or if you're on Amazon or any website, really zero in on those color temperatures. That's going to make the big difference about how much you're going to like a light. 3,000 Kelvin, warm white. 4,000, 5,000 Kelvin, cool daylight. Okay, and then you're going to be fine and good to go. So I want to touch on Hubbardton Forge's glass for just a second. Hubbardton Forge's Opal Glass is not just another piece of white glass. This is actually hand-blown glass. All of their glass is hand-blown. And to begin with, it's actually a clear piece of glass to start with. And then they come in, they blow a second layer on the inside of white glass. Then they come back and they do a third step where they sandblast the entire outside. So you'll notice when you get these in your hands, they actually have layers of glass on them on the end. You can see them on these two pieces. And it gives it this really soft, semi-transparent, kind of milky quality. It's a soft glowing piece. Really, really pretty. They're really obsessed about details at Hubbardton Forge, and a lot of people don't. I don't think they appreciate it out in the world, but you appreciate it because that's why you guys are here watching this video. There you go. Let's get into metal finishes now. If you're on our website, HandmadeInVermont.com, do me a favor, look over on the left-hand side of the screen. You're going to see a lot of red tabs over there. One is going to be the Finishes Help Guide. When you're done with this video, go over there and open that up for me, and you're going to see a video at the top of that page of me talking to you guys about the differences in Hubbardton Forge finishes and how they can look on different types of forging. I'm going to be referencing a color chart just below the video, so scroll down a little bit, you'll see that chart. You'll notice there are pictures that have the letter A on them, pictures that have the letter B on them, and I'm going to be talking about that range you can see in variance on there in that video. So it's really important to watch the video, use that chart. When you're done with all that, come back down to that chart. You can click on any of those pictures and see a lot more samples of Hubbardton Forge fixtures in that finish. If you want to see a bunch of stuff in dark smoke, click on dark smoke. If you want to see a bunch of stuff in vintage platinum, do the same, and so on and so on and so on. That's a great way for you to see a lot of Hubbardton Forge stuff in different finishes and really take advantage of that, okay? So our showroom in Vermont has over 350 Hubbardton forged fixtures spread across 2 floors. We have a What's On display page on our website. It's going to be back in the red tabs over there. A lot of good things in that section. Check out. So when you open that up, you'll see it's all divided up into different sections like dining pendants and outdoor lighting. We're always adding to that. This is the biggest showroom in the world of Hubbardton Forged. They don't even have a showroom like this. Nobody does. And they use this as their showroom when you guys come to Vermont to visit us. So lots and lots to see here. You can see all the different glass, all the different finishes, all the different fabrics, all of those things. In addition to that, we have a clearance center. So the clearance center stuff are returns, discontinued things, and showroom samples. That's an amazing deal for you. If you guys want to take advantage of that, you have to come here to Vermont to see us. And when you do me a favor, measure all the kind of things about your project and what you guys are doing. So the most important thing is measure your ceiling heights to begin with. Measure distances between junction boxes and like windows and ceilings and those kind of things. So if you're looking at sconces on the wall, you can see if they're going to fit for you. If you're doing pendants over a kitchen island, measure the distances between those junction boxes. Widths of tables, kitchen tables, dining tables, lengths of tables, islands, all that good stuff. And also do a couple more things. If you guys have some tablets or iPads lying around, take pictures of all these things. Take pictures of the kitchen, take pictures of the projects you're doing. Bring that in so we can kind of go through those pictures together and we'll be able to see what you guys are up to, okay? And also the boxes and clearance stuff, for clearance stuff, are basically packed for shipping. Don't forget, these were supposedly shipped out. So the boxes tend to be on the bigger side, so bring a decent size SUV if you want to take stuff home. It's a really good opportunity for you. When you buy your Hubbardton forged fixtures from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. There's no tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont. We're the only dealer that offers 90-day returns and no restocking fees. That's 3 months after you receive something to send it back, and there's no restocking fee on that. Some larger items and custom things, and it's usually going to be big things on pallets, are going to be non-returnable. It'll always tell you on the page for an item if that is the case, so always keep an eye out for that. And we also offer a rush program. So to get all these different metal finishes, Hubbardton Forged doesn't stock. They generally take about 3 to 4 weeks to get product out. We can cut that time in half, and it's really, really inexpensive. If you want to know more about that, just drop me a quick email and I can clue you in on details, okay? So our showroom in Vermont is open every day except Sunday from 11 to 6. I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. If you want to drop a quick email, you can do that all the time. And that's going to be at sales@HandmadeInVermont.com, and we spell out the word Vermont. Or you can call me during business hours, 802-446-2400. So thank you for stopping in today, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.